one of the most remarkable images to come out of Hurricane Irma so far is this radar image. If you see that little dot, there's an aircraft. That's an aircraft, a Delta rescue flight that got people out of Puerto Rico as Hurricane Irma approached right in the nick of time. Now, just before air, I spoke with Sheila Sellers, who was on that flight. Sheila, you were on this remarkable flight. First of all, explain how the airline ended up racing against the clock and what it was like for you.
Initially, I was on a flight on American Airlines. It was delayed, and then it was canceled. So we were seeking shelter inside the airport. They had, getting the cots ready, getting the food ready, and they said, just wait until 1 o'clock. We have one more flight, and we want to make sure that flight gets out. If not, we'll have all the passengers come with you, for shelter. And we said, what extra flight? We didn't know about any other flights. So we found out it was a Delta rescue flight, and that's how we ended up there. Didn't know anything about it.
What was the takeoff like? Because I mean, the winds were already, getting strong.
You know what? When we boarded the plane, it was barely raining. It was like drizzle, but I think by the time we actually hit the runway, that's when the wind really, really started, and you can see the rainfall. We swayed a lot as we ascended into the air. You can feel the pressure. I don't know if it was wind or what it was. You could feel the plane having resistance.
And I understand you actually put your head in your lap and kind of cover your ears.
I did. Initially, I looked out the window. You kind of want to see what's going on. It's a big deal. You're the last plane taken out. Everybody else was delayed, so you feel like, let me see everything I got to see in this flight. And I couldn't take it anymore. You can look down. I see the water. Everything's turning white because of the wind pushing the waves. And you just see wind. It was a lot. So it was nerve-wracking. So at that point, and you hear people moaning, groaning. You hear people crying. There was 2 kids crying, the mother trying to console her children. And it's a lot to hear. And, I'm in the same state of panic. So at that point, I just closed my window shade, put my head in my lap, and covered my ears. And the plane was turbulent for maybe about an hour. Like, it never really stopped. It might have, subsided just a little bit, but not a lot.
Well, that's what's extraordinary. I mean, they were flying between kind of in a gap in the outer band of the storm. They were working with, I understand, their meteorologists to kind of find a little channel that they could fly through. When you landed, what was that like? I mean, I've been on flights where people, burst into applause. I assume there was probably some applause.
And it was. I don't know why I didn't anticipate it. If I had, I wish I would have had my phone out. But everybody clapped. I mean, people are standing ovation clapping. And it felt good. You feel like you beat the odds. Like, I don't know what devastation was behind me. I was just happy to be ahead of it. We landed about 30 minutes early.
Wow.
And safely. And even during the flight, we even had cabin service. So at some point, of course, the flight stabilized, but the initial, from about takeoff to 1 hour, it was rough.
Did you get a cocktail at least on the flight?
I had one.
Just one?
Just one, because that turbulence, I wasn't sure what was going to happen.
Yeah.
You know what? I wasn't the only one.
You deserve it. Listen, Sheila, thanks for talking to us. I'm glad you and everybody else on board that flight, and remarkable work by the crew and everybody working there. Sheila Sellers, thanks so much.
Absolutely. Thank you.